Hello then, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to a lunchtime news bulletin coming to you live on MTV Sports with news first. I'm Shah Party. Well, Egyptian security forces moved into two massive makeshift camps that supporters of deposed President Mohamed Morsi had set up in Cairo, bulldozing tents and lobbing tear gas today. Now, reports say that at least 30 people have been killed. Now, we have the details on the News First International desk, but before that, here are your headlines. Doctors at the Kandy General Hospital commence a token strike. National Police Commission receives 230 complaints of unlawful activities carried out by the police this year. Explosion on board an Indian submarine. Now here are those stories in detail. The National Police Commission has received 230 complaints regarding unlawful acts committed by the police this year. Director of the Public Complaints Unit at the Commission, Aridasa Kure, notes that solutions have been provided to 145 of these complaints. According to the National Police Commission, 601 complaints were lodged last year concerning unlawful acts committed by the police. The Public Complaints Unit of the Commission reiterates, however, that they were able to provide solutions to 591 of these complaints. Director of the Public Complaints Unit, Aridasa Kure, notes that a majority of the complaints were on the police not enforcing the law. The Police Commission adds that complaints regarding the police can be lodged with the Commission through their headquarters or the District Secretariat officers located around the country. Meanwhile, 8 police officers attached to the Thanamalvila police station have been interdicted. Police media spokesperson SP Buddhiga Siriwardena said that the decision to interdict the officers was taken due to their failure to hand over a stash of marijuana that was seized by the police. A sub-inspector, a police sergeant, 5 police constables and an assistant security personnel were among those interdicted. A special function was held in Colombo today to mark the 67th Independence Day of Pakistan. Now, the event was held at the Pakistani High Commission premises in Colombo. The Pakistan Independence Day celebration in Colombo was held under the auspices of Pakistani High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Major General Qasim Qureshi. The Independence Day messages of Pakistani President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif were read out at the occasion. Members of the Pakistani community in Sri Lanka were present at the Independence Day celebrations along with a number of dignitaries and officials attached to the High Commission.
I invite Mr. Ghulam.
Minister of Construction, Engineering, Housing and Common Amenities says that there is no government in the world that has not been criticized. Now, the minister made this comment at a meeting held at the Harindra Korea Hall in Shillong. There is no government in Sri Lanka or in the world that has not been criticized. Even the best government in the world is criticized. The government which created patriotic forces in 2005 ended the war under the leadership of the president and the blessings of the patriot forces. The government did not stop there. It brought development to the country. Therefore, we can state without fear that no matter what shortcomings and weaknesses are there on the part of the government, and no matter how much criticism has been leveled against it, the present government loves the country more than all other previous governments in recent history. Meanwhile, incessant rains experienced in the Central Hills has resulted in several earth slips along the Hatton-Norton Road. According to our correspondent in the area, many locations along the road are prone to earth slips. Now, area residents point out that therefore commuting on this road has become difficult. When inquired about the matter, a road development authority official in Norwood noted that steps will be taken to repair the road as soon as the weather permits it. On to other local news. 4 Indian prisoners serving sentences at the Valikada prison have been transferred to prisons in India. Prison spokesperson GB Kulatunga says that this was done as per an agreement between Sri Lanka and India on the transfer of prisoners. The Indian prisoners who were transferred were individuals that had been convicted of drug-related offences. 2 of the prisoners who were serving life sentences were also among the 4 prisoners that were transferred to India, and they will now serve out the remainder of their sentence in India. Prison spokesperson GB Kulatunga added that 8 other prisoners serving sentences in Sri Lanka are also due to be repatriated to India in line with the agreements. Meanwhile, the Hindu newspaper reports that 2 of the prisoners that were transferred have been sent to the Trichy Central Prison. On to international news, the Muslim Brotherhood claims that Egyptian security forces killed 30 people as they started clearing out Cairo protest camps that have been demanding the reinstatement of deposed Islamist President Mohamed Morsi.
Egypt's health ministry said there have been no deaths so far in the crackdown. Egyptian security forces earlier started clearing out the 2 camps. However, Egypt's health ministry said there have been no deaths so far in the crackdown. Egyptian security forces earlier started clearing out the 2 camps. At Rabah, security forces fired tear gas as police helicopters circled above and army vehicles were stationed nearby. The state news agency said security forces had started implementing a phased plan to disperse the protesters, which is almost certain to deepen political turmoil in Egypt. More than 300 people have already died in political violence since the army overthrew Morsi on July 3rd, including dozens of his supporters killed by security forces in 2 separate earlier incidents.
Well, in the early hours of this morning, an Indian Navy submarine caught fire after an explosion occurred on board in a Mumbai port, leaving 18 sailors trapped.
A statement from the Navy says the Russian-built 16-year-old vessel has submerged at her berth with only a portion visible at the surface. Navy divers and rescue workers are at the scene. It is not yet clear what caused the explosion on the INS Sindhurakshak.
After an explosion, the Lion Gate was closed. I called up my driver. He said a submarine has caught fire due to a cylinder blast. We moved aside. We heard 4 explosions. Then there was a stampede.
Only 3 months ago, India spent $80 million on upgrading the vessel in Russia, and it was expected to serve the Navy for at least another 10 years. In February 2010, a sailor on board the submarine was killed by a fire in the battery compartment. Today's explosion has cast a shadow on India's naval operations, as it was only on Monday that the country launched its first indigenously built aircraft carrier, a landmark moment for India, making it the 5th nation to have designed and built its own aircraft carrier.
Well, taking a look back at one of our local stories, the doctors of the Kandy General Hospital have launched a token strike. In the meantime, moving on to sports news. David Ferrer was able to overcome the charge from Ryan Harrison to advance to the final 16 yesterday of the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati, Ohio. The world number 4 had more of a struggle than was expected, needing a tiebreak to win the first set 7-6, then dropping the second set before finding his way for the victory in the third set against the 102 ranked player in the world. The Spaniard needed 2 hours and 43 minutes to claim the 7-6, 3-6, 6-4 victory.
3-6, 6-4.
In the final match of the night, defending Western and Southern Open champion Roger Federer appeared ready to cruise a victory against Philip Kohlschreiber after winning the first set 6-3 in 32 minutes. The second set wasn't as easy for the former world number 1. Federer double faulted in the second set to put the German up 4-2, needing to battle back to save a set point for Kohlschreiber at a 7-6 in the tiebreak. Kohlschreiber continued the fight but hit a backhand into the net on Federer's second match point to give the Swiss victory 6-3, 7-6. Federer will play the winner between 11th-seeded German Tommy Haas and Spaniard Marcel Granollers in the third round. Well, football fan Pope Francis held a private audience at the Vatican with the national teams of his native Argentina and Italy, who meet in a friendly in Rome today after a 12-year gap. Francis hosted the teams at the Vatican's Clementine Hall, offering them a personal blessing the day before the match. Argentine captain and Barcelona superstar Lionel Messi presented the Pope with an olive tree. The match was organized by Italy coach Cesare Prandelli, who last week said he had been inspired by the Pope's first public appearance after his election.
Veramente sarà un po' difficile per me fare il tifo.
In truth, it will be hard for me to choose who I will support, but luckily it is a friendly, and may it be truly a friendly, I advise you. You, dear players, are very popular. People follow you a lot, not only when you are on the pitch, but also outside. This is a social responsibility. This should lead you to think that before being champions, you are men, human beings, with your heart and your ideas, your desires and your problems. Therefore, even if you are famous people, always be human beings first, in the game and in life. Be men, bearers of humanity.
Nello sport e nella vita. Uomini portatori di umanità.
The two teams met in 4 successive World Cups between 1978 and 1990, the last of those games ending in a heartbreaking semi-final defeat for host Italy, with the Diego Maradona-inspired Argentina winning on penalties after a 1-1 draw. The only meeting since then was Argentina's 2-1 win in Rome in 2001. Well, the doctors of the Kandy General Hospital have launched a token strike. Deputy Chairman of the GMO's Kandy branch, Specialist Dr. Lalit Gamage, states that they decided to commence the token strike in protest against solutions not being provided to issues raised by them through previous trade union actions. The outpatient department of the Kandy General Hospital clinical services and scheduled surgeries have come to a standstill due to the token strike. However, Dr. Lalit Gamage notes that emergency services will be in operation.
Actually, 3 weeks ago there was an incident and one doctor was locked inside the theatre, and we have asked for an inquiry, and the ministry held the inquiry, and last Wednesday we had a meeting with Secretary Health in Colombo with the GMO parent body members and the GMO Kandy branch union members, and in that meeting Secretary agreed to give us a report and recommendation on by Tuesday afternoon, but yet we have not received anything. And even I heard in the media that Secretary is telling that he has the report and he will be delivering it, but we have not yet received the report. So we are on trade union action. Once we get the report, we will decide what is our future course of action.
Now, when we inquired about the token strike from the Kandy General Hospital, its acting director Lakmini Pereira said that she is due to receive a report from the Secretary to the Ministry of Health on the issues which are being highlighted through the token strike. Now, however, patients charge that they have been severely inconvenienced by the token strike launched by doctors of the Kandy General Hospital. And with that, we cross over to a short commercial break. And that's your lunchtime news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. For News First, I'm Shanjaram Pati. Goodbye and take care.